Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Alton West. Today I have a guest on from the LaGrange Art Museum, so stay tuned for that interview coming up in just a moment.
I'm LaGrange Mayor Jim Thornton.
And I'm Patrick Cruz, Chairman of the Troup County Board of Commissioners, and we've got a question for you.
Have you ever littered?
No. Sometimes. I see my dad litter. It's something which you just throw on the floor and you don't, you just throw things on the floor and when you don't need to. I just don't like putting in the trash can sometimes, but sometimes I do put them in the trash can. Don't do that. Just a piece of trash on our yard and I don't like people that litter. He just threw the gun out the window. Cheap, beautiful. If you are littering people, stop littering right now. Don't litter. And you're a grown-up, you should know that. Cheap, troop, beautiful.
Littering in Troup County is not a small problem. It's a big one, and we need everyone to do their part.
The City of LaGrange, along with Troup County and the cities of Hogansville and West Point, want to clean up our community.
So please don't trash Troup.
Let's pick it up. Working together, we can keep Troup County a beautiful place to live.
Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have the pleasure of sitting down with the Executive Director from the LaGrange Art Museum, Laura Jennings. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Alton. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
You know, I think our paths have crossed. I don't want to start trying to name places. I'll mess them up, I'm sure.
Well, you had me on for Biblical History Center when I worked there as the fundraising and marketing person.
That's right.
And then when I was the tourism director
With the Chamber. Those were the two I was thinking about.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
I've been a frequent flyer on your show.
That's right, and you know what? You always welcome me on the show, Laura.
Thank you.
Because you always bring, that joy, that energy that we definitely need, and the excitement for our viewing audience too. But today you're in a new capacity and a new role as the Executive Director for the LaGrange Art Museum. Talk a little bit about that for us, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, I never dreamed that I would be the director of the LaGrange Art Museum. I've been involved with the Art Museum most all of my adult life, either on the board or as a volunteer, and always passionate about the arts. But this kind of somewhat fell in my lap, and I could not be happier with this role. Have a great staff to work with, and a lot of positive momentum in the visual arts world. So it's great. I'm still surprised at how people don't know where we are. I've been having a lot of maintenance things done at the museum, and they'll say, well, where is that? And I say 112 Lafayette Parkway, and then I describe the building, the big pretty white Victorian building you see.
Right.
And they say, oh yeah, I know that building.
I know that building.
So
That's right.
they don't really know it as the art museum, but they do know the building. It's very iconic.
That's right. I think a lot of times the mural on the wall there, kind of, when you say the mural on the wall right there by the Catholic Church, they oh yeah, okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there's mixed talk about that mural.
It is, isn't it?
Yes. Some people on our board love it.
Yes.
And then some people don't care for it. So it's an interesting, it's a point of conversation.
It is
for sure.
Well, I think that's why they call it art.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
They call it art. Now, and you were talking about, you have such a passion. Why is art so passionate, or why is that such a passion of yours, Laura, you think? And why are arts important, you think?
Oh gosh, well there's countless studies on the importance of the arts for a developing mind of a child. Problem solving is probably one of the things that's so important. As you try to create something in art, you have to figure out a lot of things, a lot of science and technology, balance. I mean, there's just a lot of thought that goes into problem solving. And it's a great release. I get frustrated when people quit doing art because they think, oh, I'll never sell art, I'll never be famous as an artist. But you should do it for the art's sake, for losing yourself in it, for a creative outlet. And I personally have just always loved art. It's an addiction. I will spend my last dollar buying art. I love meeting artists. I just am amazed of the gift that God gives people, the creative people. It's just, and it is a gift.
Absolutely. You know, there's a young man at my church. He looked at a photograph of our pastor, and he's starting out, you know, in his art career, and he, you know, drew a picture of him, and I looked at him like, man, and I said the exact same thing. That's a gift. That you can look at a photograph and in your mind visualize, and you can sit there and draw it out. Yeah. And you know, my son's an artist too, my oldest son, and I know a lot of time artists, they'll, like you said, they'll start something and they'll, you know, leave it alone for a while. But I think they have to get those artistic juices flowing, I guess, in order to finish it, because he's a great artist as well.
Well, I think it's true for music or dance or anything. You know, you do it when you're young, and then life kind of gets in the way, and it's too bad. I mean, you know, if you played the cello when you were in high school, keep playing the cello. You don't have to be the best at it, but just keep doing it. So
the enjoyment of it, as you stated.
The enjoyment of it, absolutely.
You know, and we know, most of the people now know where you guys are located. And I've been to the art museum a couple of times, but there may be a viewing member here that haven't been. Talk about the layout of your building, if you don't mind.
Well, the layout really intrigues the artists who get to come and exhibit there. They are just amazed, because it's not like any typical art museum, because there's multiple layers and levels. Of course, it was built in 1892 as a jail. I can't imagine. Nowadays, we don't spend any money on beautiful architecture. It's hard to imagine they did that back then for a jail. And the jailer lived there with his family. And so the main building, the one that you see up on the hill, the pretty white building, it is our primary exhibit space. So we have shows on the first floor and on the second floor. And then the third floor is storage, and then we have an attic. And then we have a permanent collection room, the Morrill Hutchinson permanent collection area. And it's outfitted to hold 700 paintings that are in our permanent collection. And they're on big metal frames that roll on heavy metal runners. So it's the perfect way to keep them safe and in proper order. And we really don't have classes in that building anymore, now that we have the building next door. Our offices are located there. But down below, in the one you said with the mural, the well-known mural, is the Center for Creative Learning. And we've hosted some events recently. LaGrange College had a VIP event there, and we're going to have a pop-up cooking demonstration soon with a chef who's just moved to the area. And so I think people are amazed. They don't even know we have that resource. But in the front of the building is a huge open space that is used for several programs. And then we have a demonstration kitchen that was provided by Home Depot. And then in the back, we have artist studios. We have 6 studios, and they do their work there. Some of them teach classes in their studio, and so we're really lucky to have that space.
Absolutely. And you're talking about all those various components of it. I heard kitchen, and I'm like, okay, that caught my attention. And even the kitchen provided by Home Depot, and you said there's going to be an artist, a chef that's going to be coming in doing some cooking.
In early May he's going to come in, and I think he already just word of mouth has sold that out, so that's why I'm not talking about it too much.
I understand.
Because we want to keep it small, about 20 people. So. But that we've also taught classes before on different international foods, and we'll have another series of those, and those are very popular.
Absolutely, I'm sure. You know, I can remember back in my college days, we used to have the International Food Day, where the various groups would come out, and we just had a big food tasting of the various countries, cultures, and stuff of that nature.
And we have that in LaGrange. Probably the best turnout in downtown LaGrange has been that LaGrange International Friendship Exchange.
That's right.
People love sampling the international foods.
Absolutely. And Lauren, again, people know where you're located. all of this is provided for the community at no cost to come in to view the exhibits, to take part in the classes. We're going to talk about, got some art classes that will be coming up. And all of this is provided at no charge to the public. Am I correct?
That's exactly right. We asked for a voluntary $10 donation for people who live outside of Troup County, but anyone that lives in Troup County, it's at no cost.
Okay, all right. Now let's talk about some of the things that you all have coming up at the museum there pretty soon. The first thing I want to talk about, and this is an artist that's very well known here to our local community. The title is Art in Blooms, and it's going to be featuring one of our very own, Annie Green.
Correct.
Talk about that.
We are so excited about that. It's the 7th annual spring fundraiser for the Art Museum, and we rely on that income quite a bit. And every year we honor various women who have been forces in the creative community. And typically we honor 3, but this year we decided to just focus on 1, which is Annie Green. She deserves the limelight all to herself. And so we're very excited about the event. It will be at Delavant, on Thursday, April 26th, and it starts at 11. And the food will be prepared by Chef Jeffrey Tucker, which we're very excited about.
Everybody knows him.
Everyone knows him. Annie's daughter will introduce her, Zinta Perkins, and then her son Nathan Green will sing for us. And of course Annie will offer a 20-minute speech as well about her life in the arts. And she's been an educator and taught so many kids in our school, and all of her husband's been a principal, and they're just I've said it before, they're regal. They're just regal people.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're amazing.
Absolutely. You're talking about that. Ms. Green was my art teacher when I was in 7th grade at what is now Ethel Kite Magnet School. It was Troup Junior High School at that time.
Wow.
So that I just told my age, I guess. But yeah, I remember, and even back then, I was amazed again, because I always tell people I can't draw a stick man that looked like anything, but just to be able to conceive an idea and then from your head put it on paper. But then I guess what's so even more remarkable about Annie's art is that you're going to be featuring her yarn art. So talk about that.
Yes, we are. We're so excited about that. Every year we take, in the past we've taken paintings from the permanent collection. And different floral interpreters, professional florists, amateur florists, will come, garden clubs will come pick a painting and then interpret it in flowers. Well, this year we decided, well, let's just do all of Annie Green's art. So we'll have 20 pieces of her art and of her yarn art, yarn paintings, and then they will be interpreted with flowers. So people can walk around before the lunch starts and look at those interpretations. So everyone's so excited about that.
I bet. Now the interpreters, are they just local? How can they become an interpreter of the?
They can go on our website, and we have, if they'd love to, and we'd love some more people. We have several more openings. But anyway, if you go to our website, LaGrangeArtMuseum.org, there's all the details about being a floral interpreter. But we would love some more.
And I understand that this is a ticketed event, so they can get information on the website as well?
Yes. $45 for a ticket, and also we'll sell raffle tickets. We have a silent auction associated with it as well, and the raffle tickets are $10. And but yes, you can do it online. You could call us, and we'll just take your credit card information over the phone. You could drop by. So we want to make it as easy as possible. Shoot, I'll just drive to your house with tickets.
Well, very good. I tell you what I'm going to do real quick, if you don't mind, Laura. I want to take a quick commercial break, because I want to come back, because I know that you have other things going on at the Art Museum that we want to make sure we get out to our viewing audience about. So let me take a quick commercial break. And we'll come right back more with Laura Jennings here in just a moment.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more in just a moment.
Nobody wants to be stopped by a law enforcement officer.
Everyone wants to feel safe.
So we've trained our officers to first listen and then explain.
We ask if you have contact with one of our officers, you listen, give him an opportunity to explain, comply with his requests, and if there's a problem, contact us so that we can investigate your complaint.
Listen, explain, comply, then complain.
Our safety and yours matters.
Welcome back, City Week, ladies and gentlemen. We are sitting down today with Laura Jennings, Executive Director for the LaGrange Art Museum. Laura, we left off a moment ago talking about Art in Bloom that's going to be taking place on April the 26th. That was going to feature none other than Annie Green. You were telling us that it is a ticket event, so if you don't mind, give them the information where they can get tickets to that.
Well, they can get tickets online. Just go to lagrangeartmuseum.org,
okay,
and there's a button to push. You can also buy raffle tickets on that site as well. And then you could just call the Art Museum and then we'll take your credit card information over the phone.
Okay.
Or you can just come by the Art Museum.
Oh,
Those are probably the three main ways. But you call, I'm happy to drive invitations to your house.
All right, absolutely. That's awesome. And it's going to be held at Delevant. Again, that's going to be April the 26th, which is going to be on a Thursday. What's the starting time? You say
11 a.m.
11 a.m. That's right.
Yep.
I forgot to write that down. Okay, very good. Now, and for those individuals, because, April, and then we got the summer months going to be coming up, kids going to be out of school, we definitely want to keep, give them something to do. And the Art Museum is providing summer art classes or art camp.
Correct.
Talk about that.
Yep, so you can register online as of April 1st. We just went online. We have had lots of interest. But the summer camp runs in June and a little bit of July.
Okay.
And ages, I think, 5 up through high school.
Okay.
And as we know, it's kind of a topic that's probably been beat to death, but there's not enough arts in the schools. And so really good parents will see to the fact that their kids supplement their formal education with arts. So we're very fortunate that a lot of parents in our community see that important need and have them sign up for our art camp. There is a fee for it, but anyway, you can go online and register for the camp.
Okay, all right. And in ages 5 on up through high school, and you were telling, as we were coming on the show, that some of the high school students even come to the camp to kind of get their portfolios together?
Yeah, exactly. We have Sally Keith, who was an art teacher in the school system for eons, and she's our director of education, and she will oversee preparation of the portfolios, art portfolios for the high school students, so that they're competitive to get into good art schools.
Absolutely.
Post high school.
Okay. And we're talking about that. I've had some of the students on from LaGrange College, and they offer art scholarships there too.
Yes.
So there again, come on out. And you did say there is a fee for the camp and everything.
Yeah.
And when it will start? They start registration April the 1st. How long will it run, Laura?
We'll just register till they're full. The classes are full.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, very good.
And then one other thing that's coming up for our youth is the Creative Youth Art League, which is early May.
Okay.
Kind of dovetails into that topic. It will be May the 6th, Sunday the May 6th is the opening reception, but this is the 25th year of the Creative Youth Art League. It was started by local artist Morrill Hutchinson, and it has continued all these years, and it's jointly sponsored by the Kiwanis and the LaGrange Art Museum, and we have art from 4 counties, students from 4 different counties, and it's private school, homeschool, and public school students.
Okay.
And they love the opportunity to have their art hung in a real art museum.
Oh my.
And it's also a great opportunity, as I've watched them, them explaining to their parents or significant family members what they were trying to communicate in their art. They'll stand there and use words and describe things, and their parents listen, and it's just a neat thing to watch, their enthusiasm. And then they also love seeing what other art students are doing in other counties, and that inspires them too. They want to see that they're keeping up with their peers, to see what other people are doing, more photography. So they learn a lot. You would think that it's just an art opening, but it's a lot more than that.
Absolutely. And that's going to be May the 6th down at the Art Museum as well.
Yes.
And is that a free event to the public?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have refreshments, and it's a Sunday afternoon, and it's in the main building and in the lower building, and then there's an award ceremony as well.
Okay, very good. Now, students here in our area, how can they sign up for that, or do they have to sign up?
They go through their art teachers.
Art teachers. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the homeschool, we reach out to the homeschool organization, and but we reach out to all of the 4-county region art teachers. So just need to talk to your art teacher.
Okay, very
That's
good.
That's the best way. But if they're interested otherwise, they can just contact the art museum. We'll make sure that they get in.
Okay,
yes.
Very good. Definitely will, you know, I'm sure, you know, with the creative minds now, because I think back in my day and now the kids of today, you know, you'd be kind of interesting to see some of the things that they're depicting in their art, just to kind of see where their minds are and what the world means to them, I guess, you know?
Yes.
So absolutely. I'm sure that will be exciting to see the art displayed there.
Yes. Oh, it's a very special show, and it hangs for a week.
Okay.
So people can come if they can't make that Sunday afternoon. They can come. We have a lot of times they have a conflict on Sunday afternoon. They bring their family other times during the week.
And talk about the hours that you all are open, Laura. So because you said it's going to be hanging for a week, talk about the hours that you all are open.
We're open from 9 to 5.
Okay.
And we are closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Oh, okay. Close.
But typically I'm there on Mondays, so
so if somebody knocks on the door.
Yes, exactly. I can't resist.
Okay, very good.
But that's usually when we hang shows or change out shows.
Okay.
And do a lot of the administrative things. But like I said, if you knock on the door, I have a hard time not answering.
Turning you away. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you know, along with that, and I think you also wanted to mention about Junior Service League as a sponsor of the summer art camps. Is that correct?
Yes, they help with art discovery, the summer art camp, and they help us with our Super Saturdays.
And that's where I'm going next.
We're very lucky to have them partners. I think they've been partners with us for 40 years, which is pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
To have that long-term partnership.
Talk about the Super Saturdays, too.
Super Saturdays, back when my kids were growing up, a long time ago, it was so competitive. You had to call in on a certain day, and it was by ages. So from 10 to 11 it was the 3rd graders, and from 11 to 12, and so it was very competitive because it only took so many people, and you often got waitlisted. Well, over time what we discovered was registration was dropping off a little bit. The parents nowadays don't want to commit to a certain day and a certain time. So what we did is we kind of repackaged the whole thing, and so you drop in on Saturday, the 3rd Saturday of every month. We have this free art program. It's from 1 to 4, and the families just drop in.
Okay.
So it's age friendly. I've seen the moms and dads just as involved, the grandmothers, as the kids, making various things. The other day they were making marbleized paper, and you put shaving cream in a flat pan, put a little food coloring in, swirl it a little bit, and then lay a paper on top, and then pull it up, scrape it off with cardboard, and it's marbleized paper, like they would have used for the inside of old books, book linings. And so everybody gets involved with it. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, it sounds like
so that's a neat one. That's the 3rd Saturday of every month from 1 to 4 in the mural building.
In the mural building. Okay. All right. And again, this is a free event.
Yes.
A free event. Okay.
Thanks to Junior Service League, it sure is.
Very good. All right. Now, and I think you guys have some exhibits that's going to be coming up pretty soon. You got the Southeastern Regional exhibit that's going to be displayed?
The Southeast Regional is there, and it was 600 artists. It's a competition.
Okay.
600 artists submitted images, and we had a juror select 120 of those.
Okay.
So it's very competitive. The juror was David Houston from, he started the Bo Bartlett Center in Columbus, which just opened. Bo Bartlett grew up in Columbus and is a famous painter, artist. And so that's what we've got up there. And he purposely picked a very odd combination of things. He wanted to show the diversity of what artists in the Southeast are doing. We used to have the LaGrange National for probably 40 years too, and it was a national competition, and the decision was made a couple years ago to narrow it down to Southeastern artists to give them more of a leg up, if you will, to get to exhibit their work.
Okay, well, very good.
And we do that in conjunction with LaGrange College. So we have all the paintings, and then they have ceramics, photography, three-dimensional art.
Oh, okay. And that exhibit is up now.
Yes.
It's available for viewing.
And it'll leave the end of April.
At the end of April. Okay.
Yes.
Well, definitely want to make sure you all get out and see that. 600 and 120 were chosen to be displayed.
So very very competitive, as you can imagine.
Absolutely. And you know, and I think later on in the year, you guys will have a metal oversized exhibit that will be displayed.
Yes, we do. It's a husband and wife, and they later in life went to West Georgia Tech to take welding.
Okay.
At the Griffin campus. And so now they weld huge metal sculptures, like a kaleidoscope that's, you know, as big as this space. And so we'll have those kind of works, a big cello.
Okay.
And so it's very kid family friendly. You can touch the work, you can't hurt it, unlike a lot of the art. So it's going to be a great summer show.
A good hands-on.
Yes.
Okay, and that starts. What's the starting date?
That'll start in June, I believe.
June. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We may have to have you come back on to talk about that as it gets closer.
Yeah, or even have the artists on, because they're really something. Very creative, collaborative team.
All right. And then the last thing I want to just talk about, I think in the fall you had the Visual Artists Alliance.
We have that every year, and it's an alliance of area artists. They're members. They meet once a month, and they show their work. It's usually from September and October.
Oh, okay.
Every year. And it's a great opportunity for people to buy art from the artists and also just see what our local artists are producing, which is very impressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you know, it sounds like a lot of great things going on there at the Art Museum, Laura, and I know that you're fully excited about it. I know that the public will come out and support, and definitely our students take advantage of the Summer Arts Camp, and definitely let's not forget about Art in Bloom. That's going to be taking place on April the 26th. That will feature none other than our very own Annie Green. Laura, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
You're most welcome.
A lot of great things going on there. Definitely, if we can continue to do something to help with get the arts out into the community, let us know. Okay.
All righty. Thank you, Alton.
All right. Thank you, Laura.
Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining for City Week this week. My guests have been from the LaGrange Art Museum, the Executive Director, Laura Jennings, and she talked about many events going on there at the Art Museum, but particularly you want to make sure that you keep in mind the Art in Bloom that will be taking place on April the 26th, featuring our very own local artist, Annie Green. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you joining us for this week for City Week, and as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.
What can you recycle?
Does the city recycle plastic?
Yes, the city recycles plastic. We accept bottles, containers, and jugs.
Please rinse and clean them.
Because if you don't, they're considered contaminated. And contaminated items are thrown away.
Plastic bags are not accepted.
No grocery bags, no dry cleaning bags, and no trash bags. Does the city recycle tin and aluminum?
Yes, the city recycles those items. But all items must be rinsed and cleaned.
Don't put these items in plastic bags.
Because if they're not clean, they're contaminated.
And all contaminated items are thrown away.
Does the city recycle cardboard, newspapers, or magazines?
Yes, the city accepts these items.
Cardboard boxes need to be broken down.
And packing materials must be removed.
If the cardboard isn't broken down, it's contaminated.
And those items are thrown away.
If the items are too big, place it by the bin.
Did you know that 30% of our curbside recycling is contaminated and thrown away?
Please help our community and our environment and recycle smart.
Please help.
Recycle is smart.
Recycle smart! Recycle smart!